on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking a WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition Series 22 John Cena. If you are interested in grabbing this figure, it is now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. And you guys shop there, use discount code FORLIFE to save 10% off your order. So this is now the third Ultimate Edition John Cena figure we have received from Mattel. This is based off of his most recent modern day run, so I'm very excited for this figure. One thing I wanted to point out, so when I posted that I actually had this figure in hand, I had a lot of you guys hitting me up asking if John Cena's wristbands or armbands have his logos on there. And from the looks of it here in the box, if you guys can take a look, that armband seems to be pretty bare. I don't know if it's, maybe flipped around in the packaging or maybe they just did not print them on this first run. But if you go to Ringside's website, you can take a look at the actual proto images of this figure, and it does have all the John Cena logos and stuff on his wristband and the armband. So they do look blank here. I'm going to point that out. Let's get the figure out of the box, and we will 100% confirm that. But this figure comes pretty stacked with accessories. So you do get this cloth towel here. You get the soft goods shirt. I believe that is a non-Velcro shirt, the one you just pull over the Ultimate Edition. You will see the modern day heads for Cena with the orange and blue look. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big Cena guy, but I was really excited to have this figure. I thought his kind of current run was kind of cool. I mean, you feel like that Cena era and run in WWE is coming to a close. Even he admitted it. So I have a lot of respect for the guy. And again, not the biggest fan, but I can definitely respect him. He also does come with the baseball cap. That's, obviously what you'd expect with Cena. A bunch of interchangeable hands. I believe there should be a molded towel in his back jeans pocket, similar to how we've seen with the Usos, because you do remember Cena did have that towel folded up in the back. But figure looks great. Your standard Ultimate Edition box, the white outlay here on the front, the John Cena nameplate up top, Ultimate Edition logo. If you flip over to the side, you will see the John Cena nameplate as well. On the top, it just says Cena. Got the image of the modern day run John Cena. On the back, the figure photography. And look, you will even see the Never Give Up and the logos here on the wristbands, on the figure itself. In the proto images, you can see the actual image of Cena with a little read up here. If you guys would like to read it and pause the review, you can do so right now. Let's come back. We're going to crack this box open and see the little Easter eggs on the top and the bottom. So for the inside of John Cena's Ultimate Edition box, on the top it says, "You can't see me," and on the bottom it says, "You want some? Come get some." Before we get to the actual figure itself, let's look at all the accessories that are included with your Ultimate Edition John Cena. So hands, you get a ton. You get a set of interchangeable fisted hands. You also do get a set of the open "You Can't See Me" hands. You get a set of the resized, kind of like shaking hands for him to do his kind of salute. You also do get a set of open mic open holding hands here. Additionally, you do get this towel, which does have the Never Give Up logo on there. This is made of like a rubbery kind of plastic. It is pliable. You can kind of fold it. So I do appreciate that it's not cloth. I was kind of curious to see how that would, kind of hold up in the figure's hand. But I feel like if you get an interchangeable hand, maybe a mic open holding hand, you can have him holding the towel, which may be the kind of display I might go with for this Cena. You also do get the towel that kind of folds up in the back here. Kind of plugs into his back pocket. Of course, your baseball cap, Never Give Up logo. The soft goods shirt, and it is the stretchy material like we've seen with prior Ultimates here. You can see all the logo designs on there. I'm sure a lot of people are asking, can you skip so we can see if the logos are on the actual armbands, which we will get to. We also do have 3 interchangeable heads. I believe we've definitely seen this one. I don't know if we've seen the other one. My screaming skin, if you guys can't see, does have a lot of like black marks on it. I can probably remove that, but that is really annoying. I think that's the new head in this set. I want to be honest, I don't really remember. I know we've definitely seen the smiling scan, and maybe this new one is kind of maybe this open mouth is a new one, or maybe it's just a new hair sculpt to it. But you can see they all have the new Cena hairdo on there as well. But let's jump to the figure and take a look at it. So here's our Ultimate Edition John Cena, all assembled with his accessories. And yes, you can see that the armbands do have the logos on there. If you guys want to get a quick close-up, you can see they are on there. They are actually on the armband too, if you guys want to take a quick peek. So it just was the positioning of the armbands in the packaging. For some reason, they were kind of just flipped over to the side, but you can see they are included. I know that was a big concern for you guys, but you can see how nice this kind of rubber or plastic towel fits in his hand from when he comes out of the entrance ramp. You also do have the one here in the back pocket, which fits really nice. It doesn't want to come out too bad, I will say. It does kind of pour it in there, but if you do knock it, it will kind of come off. But I don't want to say it's too loose. The shirt actually looks pretty good. I know when I first saw this figure, I thought the torso looked really giant, but you can see with this t-shirt on, it actually looks pretty good. I know obviously a modern day Cena is a lot leaner and a lot smaller than kind of his prime run, so some people are going to say his torso is too big, and while I agree with you, what other choice could they have gone with, right? What would you wanted to see as the towel pops out in the back? Some like I said, if you kind of play with it, it kind of will fall out, but it's not super loose if you guys want to shake it out. But let's go ahead. You can remove the hat. Take a look at this head sculpt on the figure with the t-shirt. We will obviously swap on the other two heads that do come with this figure. And it is the stretchy material, so you can kind of just either pop the arms out with these figures, is which I prefer to do. It's easier to kind of leave the arms on with the t-shirt mold when you want to swap it. So shirt pulls right off just like John Cena does in the ring. And again, we will reassemble him and pop those arms on your Ultimate figure here. And there you go. Here is your smiling head sculpt Cena on this big torso. Yes, I agree it is too big, but it is an action figure, so I'm okay with it. I will say this head kind of wants to pop out a little easier than I'd like it to. I don't know if I didn't put enough force, but if you push too far down, I feel like that kind of gives them a little bit of no neck syndrome. It's not terrible, but again, I feel like some of these heads on a lot of these Mattel figures lately, either they're a little looser than I'd like, or sometimes they're too tight and they don't go down as the towel comes out again. Okay, I'm starting to get a little annoyed with this towel. You can see how if you do touch it, it does kind of pop out of the back pocket. But like I said, it's just going to be there for display anyway, so it is what it is. But this head looks pretty good. I do like the smiling sculpt and the expression and the hair. Skin tone looks pretty good for Cena. Obviously a little paler in his kind of modern day return. You can see his jeans mold here. We will zoom in for you guys. It's got the nice kind of painted belt underneath, kind of like the navy pants here, the jorts we've seen before with the knee pads. I believe this is a new shoe mold, and we will kind of run through some articulation, see what the difference is. But I know a lot of us have been complaining that the shoes on these types of figures itself, whether it's the sneaker mold, these figures tend to just like not keep their balance. I feel like over time they get really loose, and they're doing that kind of lean forward motion. But take a look at the back of his jeans. You can see the American flag logo. So pretty simple of what you'd expect with Cena. If you guys want to run through some quick articulation, let's go ahead and do it. The head will fully rotate. Arm fully rotates. You do have your butterfly joints to get some good range of motion. There is a bicep cut here on the arm. You get the double jointed pinless elbows. The arms do rotate and hinge. You do get the diaphragm joint here for your Ultimate Edition figure as the head kind of pops off. See, that's what I'm saying. It just feels a little looser than I'd like it to be. You do get the waist articulation. He does have the drop down hips here. The legs will kick forward about that much. I'm always worried about breaking these hips as the towel goes out again, but he'll kick up about that much. He does have the double jointed knees. They are pinned. Not too far back. Even when you kind of drop them, they don't really go too far back. There is a thigh cut here as well. Does do the splits pretty good. So decent articulation for Cena. You will see he does... I don't believe there's any rotation here at the actual ankle. I feel like on the shoe, it just kind of... You have ankle a little pivot here and it goes up and down. It is a little loose, but is there really no articulation here, or is it just mine really stiff? I feel like all the articulation is on this part of the shoe itself. That's kind of, I believe it's different. I believe the old ones used to have articulation here because that's where they were pegged in. But that's interesting. I heard this shoe mold is kind of one and done. They're using it on this figure, and they figured out a better mold that is supposed to be a little better than this new one they designed. But decent articulation for your Cena figure here. Let's go ahead and swap the other heads on this figure body and see how they fit. Moving on to the other head sculpt. So here is the Screaming head sculpt on your John Cena figure. This actually fits pretty good. Not as loose as the other one. Will not just pop off, but mine does have a few kind of like marks on it, which I was able to scrub some of it off, which I will definitely work at in getting the rest of. But here's the Screaming sculpt for Cena, as well as the Smiling head sculpt, which we have seen before on this Ultimate Edition Cena. Again, this one does not pop off too easily as well. I do like this head, probably my second favorite. I will say the actual other Smiling head is probably my favorite one for this figure, and then I would go with the Screaming head as my least favorite. Starting off our comparison, so here we have two elite kind of modern day John Cena figures. If you guys wanted to remove the hats here, you can see that this, I believe, is the same head sculpt that we have seen prior. These do have the darker kind of hair, but I feel like the lighter brown was kind of more accurate, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the figure actually stands pretty well height-wise with the other Elite figures. Maybe a little taller like it should be with most Ultimate figures, but for the most part, these actually do look great together. For your Ultimate Edition John Cena comparison, so this is the third Ultimate Edition we've received from Mattel for John Cena. We do have an Amazon Fan Takeover Ultimate coming, which we are still not sure on the attire. We have to vote on that to see what wins the poll, and that would be the fourth Ultimate Cena that I know of that we are getting. But we do have the Ultimate Edition Series 10 here in the black jorts, and we also have the Ultimate Edition Series 5 John Cena here from his return here with the orange. You will see, this is what I was talking about, the articulation on the shoe. This did have kind of like a rotation at the ankle, and I'm going to try it again. Like I said, I don't know if mine are just stiff, but they seem to be molded on there, and I'm just going to say it is. But if you guys want to get a quick comparison of the look, these shoes are pretty similar. You'll see kind of how the new shoe is molded. I forgot to mention there is toe articulation on there as well, but this is before we had the butterfly joints with the Cena. This one was one of the newer ones that had it. Again, they all have the bigger torso, so I understand where some people are saying, but height-wise, I believe these Ultimates do stack up pretty well. So the new shoe mold doesn't change anything on height, but all these figures do look great, and I look forward to more Ultimate Edition scenes coming from Mattel. If you guys have enjoyed this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this brand new Ultimate Edition John Cena, and all your thoughts and comments down below. Will you be adding this figure to your collection? And while you're at it, please turn on those notification bells. Stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. My personal take on this brand new Ultimate Edition Series 22 John Cena. I say go ahead and pick it up. This is a very fun one. John Cena is getting towards the end of his run. This is a nice way to kind of celebrate his career. I feel like you get a lot of bang for your buck with this figure. This figure feels like an Ultimate should. I know the last series with Ultimate 21, a lot of the cost probably went to Cody's coat. Those figures didn't feel Ultimate. I feel like they just lacked accessories. There just wasn't a lot of stuff there. And I understand why, so let's not even open up that can of worms. But this figure itself, you get the t-shirt, you get the armbands, which do have the logos, of course. You get the hat, 2 different towel molds, 3 interchangeable heads, all the hands. I say go ahead and grab it. It is fun. If there are any gripes, I will say, like a lot of you guys, the torso choice. What could they have used? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that would have sufficed for this kind of modern day Cena. I don't know if maybe he needs, his own unique torso design as far as an Ultimate. I'm not a big fan of this new shoe mold. I don't really like that you can't articulate. Not that I use a lot of that foot articulation, but sometimes it does help. It just feels a little different. And of course, this is the only time they're going to use it, so not a big gripe. The biggest gripe I'm going to go with is this freaking towel. Like I said, it's not going to fall out if you try to shake it off the figure, but if you slightly bump it while you're trying to articulate it from like the side, it falls out pretty easy. But that's a minor gripe. This figure is going to be on display in my shelf, so I don't anticipate on that falling out, especially with him on display stand. So I say go ahead and grab this figure, add it to your collection. It is a very fun one, especially with his last run. Head over to Ringside Collectibles right now. It is in stock and shipping. Use promo code 4LIFE to save 10% off your order. Before you go, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AlexWestCollects. Thank you all for tuning in and your continued support. And I'll catch you all on the next video review.